Hello students, in this question there is a light rod, a weightless rod of total length 2L, and on this rod there is a small bead or a small sphere of mass small m that is glued at the midpoint of this rod, right? And this rod is being moved by applying some force at this bottom end here, by applying some horizontal force such that this bottom end always moves with a uniform velocity v, right? And in this case you have to determine what is the value of the interaction force between this bead or this sphere and the rod, and also the force, external force applied at this bottom end, and it is given that the external force is always horizontal, right? So what will be the force applied, external force applied, and the force of interaction, or simply the reaction force between the bead and this rod at the instant when this angle becomes alpha. Also, one point I would like to reiterate, if you get confused, that this is not a bead which can slide over this rod. This is this bead, or simply the sphere, is actually fixed at the rod at this midpoint, right? So it is somehow connected with this rod, right? So now let's solve this question. So here in this diagram, I have made some useful things to solve this problem. And instead of this angle alpha, we have taken this angle as theta. Of course, there is a relation between alpha and theta. This value theta will be 90 minus alpha, right? So we have taken the coordinate system along this x and y direction, right? So how do we approach to solve this problem? First of all, we should make the free body diagram of the system of this rod as well as this sphere, right? So of course there is one force, that is the gravitational force. Of course there is no gravitational force acting on this rod because this is weightless, and at this instant, this point here, there is going to be normal reaction in the vertically upward direction, and let's say at this point there will be another normal reaction force, right? So at the contact with the wall, there is going to be the normal reaction force towards the right, right? So this normal reaction, let's call that normal reaction to be n dash, right? Also, there is going to be one external force that was being applied at this lower end here. So let that external force be F, right? So what is going to be its direction? So for the sake of simplicity, let's say this direction is going to be F towards the right. Uh, Now let's see what can we do about it, right? So one thing we can determine is the velocity of this ball or this bead, right? Since this is at the midpoint here. So for that, we should be aiming to determine the velocity of this end, which is at the wall, which is in contact with the wall, right? So let's say this point here is moving vertically downward with some velocity, let's say v dash, right? So this velocity is, let's say, v dash. Now this angle will be 90 minus theta, and from the constraint motion, since this rod is a rigid body after all, the velocity of approach between any 2 points on this rod is going to be equal to 0, right? So if I take the component of this end's velocity v dash along this rod, v dash cos 90 minus theta, that should be equal to the component of this end's velocity along the same direction, that is going to be v cos theta, right? So we can equate these two velocities. V cos theta is going to be equal to v dash cos 90 minus theta, which is v dash sine theta. So v dash will actually become v cot theta, right? So this velocity has become v cot theta. Now if you look carefully here, what is happening is that you can see here there are two right angle triangles. This one is the bigger right angle triangle and this one is the smaller right angle triangle. right? And if we talk about this hypotenuse of these two right angle triangles, of course they are in ratio of 1 is to 2, right? So a smaller one has length L and bigger one has length 2L. So since they are similar triangles, all other sides ratio will also be same, 1 is to 2, right? So here this midpoint can be said to have a velocity average of these two velocity, right? So this point will move, just using the coordinate geometry. Also, you can prove that this point is going to have a velocity that is going to be equal to average velocity of these 2 points along this x direction, right? So this point has velocity v, this point has velocity 0 along the x direction, so this point will have a velocity v by 2 along the x direction, and in the negative y direction it will have a velocity v dash plus 0 by 2, that is v cot theta by 2. So this velocity will be v cot theta by 2. And if you just see in the horizontal direction, since this mass is rod is massless, uh, there is not going to be any acceleration towards the right direction, right? Because this system has only one component that has mass. This is the sphere part, right? This ball part. And the whole system is at this point and it is moving with the constant velocity in the x direction. So since v is constant, v by 2 is also constant. So we can say that acceleration along the x direction is going to be 0, and that means the net force along the x direction is also going to be 0, right? So along the x direction on this system, there is this reaction force n dash, and there is this force, external force acting, right? So if I want to make the direction of the forces, correctly, I can do that right now, right? Why? Because the normal reaction is always going to act towards the right. It can never act in the leftward direction. Normal reaction can never be a pull force, right? So this n dash will be towards the right, but this external force has to be towards the left, and let us say this external force is F, right? So this is F. Let me make it more clear. Let's use some. Okay, so this is my force F acting towards the left. And since the net force has to be 0, the force towards the right n dash has to be of same magnitude, right? So now we have used this part, that acceleration along x is 0, so net force is 0. So net rightward is equal to net leftward, right? So we have to determine F, so that is why I'm keeping this F instead of n dash, right? Now what? We are left with the acceleration along this y direction, what this acceleration is going to be. And since you can see that this center of mass of the system, or you can say that this particle's acceleration velocity along the y direction is v cot theta, but if we want to write it correctly, we should write vy as negative of v cot theta by 2, because it is in downward direction and upward is taken as positive direction. So minus v by 2 cot theta is vy. So acceleration along y direction will be equal to dvy by dt. That is going to be equal to minus will get cancelled out. V by 2 cosec square theta into d theta by dt, right? Now we have to operate in a given condition when the angle theta was given. So of course, when the angle alpha, this angle was 45 degree, of course this angle theta will also be equal to 45. So at theta equal to 45 degree, we can determine the value of d theta by dt, right? So as you can see here that this rod is actually moving down, so this angle theta is decreasing, right? We have taken this theta in this direction, right? In the clockwise direction it is positive, and since it is decreasing, d theta by dt will be negative, and its magnitude can be determined using the ICR point here. because this rod is a rigid body. Of course, this point has velocity in downward direction, this point has velocity in horizontal direction. If I take perpendicular direction to velocity of both the points, the point of intersection will be my ICR point for this rigid body or this rod. And about this ICR, the angular velocity of this rod omega can be said to be omega can be determined using the velocity of this point here. So velocity of this point should be equal to omega times this whole distance, that is equal to 2L sine theta, right? So this whole distance is going to be 2L sine theta. From here we can determine the value of omega also, that is equal to V by 2L sine theta, and this is for any variable angle theta. Now let's plug all the values, and that is theta equal to 45 degree. So of course AY for theta equal to 45 degree will become V by 2. Cosec square 45 will become 2, so this will actually become V into d theta by dt, and d theta by dt will be equal to basically minus times omega. Here we have determined the value magnitude of the omega, right? That is this much. And if we just put the value as 45 degrees, so this will become minus of v by root 2L. So this will become minus of v square by root 2L. And this minus sign actually says that this point will have acceleration in downward direction. So along the downward direction on this whole system, there are only two forces acting. One is mg. So mg is acting downwards minus this normal reaction which is acting upwards, should be equal to mass times acceleration. Mass times acceleration along the y direction, along the minus y direction, which is v square by root 2L, right? So this is my first equation. Now what should we do to determine? Now we have determined the value of n, and but we had to actually determine the reaction force between this rod and this sphere, right? Now I'm going to prove that this is going to be equal to n. How? Now let's make the free body diagram of this rod only, not the whole system, but the rod only, right? So let us make the free body diagram of this rod. So this is my rod, right? This is my rod. On this rod, one force at this point is acting towards the right, that is equal to F. One force is acting towards the left, that is equal to F. One force that is acting in the vertically upward direction, that is N. And since this rod is massless, the net force acting on this rod has to be zero, right? So this interaction force between the bead and the rod has to be equal to N, otherwise the net force will not be zero, right? So this is the reaction force. This is the reaction force between the rod and the bead. And of course on this rod it is it is in the downward direction, and of course on this bead it will be in the upward direction, right? So now we have determined one value, that is n. So one answer is there. N is equal to mg minus mv square by root 2L. So one answer is there. Now for the second part, what was the second part? What is the value of this force here? And that part is also, hidden in this diagram itself. Since this body is a massless body, not only it will experience the zero net force, but it should have net torque equal to zero acting on this body about this center of mass point, right? And since it is a massless body, any point can be treated as center of mass. So about any given point, the net torque has to be zero, because it is equal to I alpha, and since mass is zero, I should be equal to zero, right? So if I take the torque about the center of mass point, right? So this angle was theta, and in this particular case, this angle theta was given as 45 degree, right? So this is 45 degree, and this length is equal to L, and this length is also equal to L. And if we take the torque about the center of mass, you can see here that these forces F and F, they both are providing torque in the clockwise direction. What will be the value of these two torques? F into L sine 40, L, yes, sine 45, right? So L sine 45, two times. They both are providing in the clockwise direction. And that torque is compensated, or, neutralized by the torque of this normal reaction force N times. This will be equal to L cos 45. That is again same. Whether it is cos 45 or sine 45, the value remains same, 1 by root 2. So here we can see that F is nothing but N by 2. So we just had to find one value, other comes out to be just half of that. So answer for the second part is equal to small mg by 2 minus mv square by 2 root 2 L, right? So this becomes our answer. I hope you guys like this solution, and if you did, please share this video among your friends and all. Thank you.